Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to the Headmaster's Homeroom. I am Lady Hamilton, and that's right, it is art night. I'm so excited to see everybody here tonight. We have a great artist and a friend of mine that is joining us tonight, and one of our amazing Artist Corner family members. We're super excited to have him here tonight. So, everyone, let's say hello to our viewers tonight. Hello to our Rumble viewers. Nice to see you guys here today. So excited, especially many of our Artist Corner family members already there. Hello to our Pilled viewers. So exciting to see you guys over there. Hello to our X viewers as well. And hello to our YouTube viewers. So many great channels that we are streaming on tonight. But you know what? You guys do me a favor and hit those buttons because we want to share out my amazing guests and their amazing talent. And also get some more viewers for the show. So I appreciate that. Don't forget to hit those buttons, that like, follow, share. And I'm completely grateful for your support, whether it's a Cash App, subscriptions, it's tips, rants, pills, more. We are super excited to take those and thank you ahead of time. So you guys, I am really excited tonight. Really excited. So I hope you guys are too, because like I said, we are welcoming back one of my great friends and one of our Artist Corner family members, Rick Cassidy, a gifted artist whose work is rooted in faith, family, and giving back, a self-taught creative with over 54 years of artistic experience. Rick has transformed his lifelong passion into Cassidy Art, a platform where prints and commissions help support children's charities. His mission is simple yet powerful: create meaningful art that makes a difference. From dynamic sports illustrations and nostalgic comic and pop culture icons to breathtaking landscapes and deeply moving religious works, Rick's art captures the spirit of the moments of figures that inspire generations. Each piece tells a story, blending heart, talent, and purpose in a way that resonates with collectors and fans alike. Tonight, this show is nothing short of phenomenal. So you guys, please welcome my great friend, Rick Cassidy. Hello, hello.
Hello.
So excited to see you tonight. Oh, I'm so glad that you guys are joining, and I see you guys are popping in the hellos. There we go. Artist Corner family in the house saying hello to you, my friend.
Thank you.
So tell us, Rick, why I'm popping up these wonderful little hellos to you. Tell us a little bit about you. We've got a whole bunch of different areas that we're streaming, and people might not know about your work. So if you want to tell everyone a little bit about you and how you got into this world of art, I would be excited.
Well, I grew up a huge comic book fan, and I got tired. I'm especially a Batman fan, and I got tired of waiting for um, the comics to come out. They only came out once a month back then, and so I decided to start drawing my own, and that was when I was around 10. So I've been drawing since for about 55 years now. And just it just blossomed from there. I ended up starting to draw sports and other related items, but that came later in life, about in my 20s or even 30s, is when I really got serious about that. And um, in the 90s, I even did a little bit of work in the commercial art with some of the local newspapers and so forth as well.
Oh, that is super exciting. Is this something that has supported your life, or is this you did something else and you're an artist?
I did something. I'm a retired management professional, so um,
Nice.
yeah, I couldn't support myself with the art. But I owned my own comic book store for a number of years, and I did draw every day there, and that is when I got into the commercial art as well. But that was back in the '90s.
Well, yeah, unfortunately with us artists, I always say that we always have to be an artist and as we are trying to take this venture into the art world. But this is exactly one of the reasons I've asked him back because his work truly is phenomenal, everyone. And I'm so glad to see not only have you in our wonderful artist corner, but to be able to share your phenomenal work tonight. It is
Well, thank
just absolutely awesome. Oh, that's right. You guys, thank you, JJ. He also has a Rumble channel. Tell everybody about that right now.
Well, the last time I was on your show, I asked some of the viewers and some of our Artist Corner family for some support or some help on that because I wanted to share my like a virtual studio, and
Hmm.
got a great advice, and I just decided, well, I'm going to go for it, and got my cameras and just started producing some things. My production quality isn't the best, but it shows my technique, and it shows my process on how something comes to life for me. So it's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun, and don't worry about it. I've seen your videos and I love them. I mean, I started out with just basically a laptop, and you know, over the 3 years I've just grown. But your videos are awesome, and if you guys want to check that out, I will make sure we get that link here real quick. But it's awesome because it's a great way to learn a little something about using colored pencils and being able to manipulate that. Plus, just watch an amazing artist create work. I love it. I encourage you all to put out videos and do something like that. So people, because I think a lot of people want to see the process as well, So I'm super excited about that. Everyone, I'm going to load this up. Is there anything you wanted to add before we start geeking out on your work?
No, no, I let you pick the art this time, so I don't even know what's going to be coming up. So we'll see what we got going on.
Right, and that's the funny part, guys. When I get to pick some, and these are in no particular order, but I just wanted to show that you have such a real big range of different styles and different concepts, and it's so I tried to pick a collection to really show off all your different aspects of the things that you create. So you guys, please go give him a follow. If you're not following him yet, you can follow him on Truth at Rick CC. You can also follow him at Cassidy Art over there on X. So make sure you are giving him a follow, share out his work. Oh, thank you. JJ's got to go, and you guys can follow him on Rumble too. User Cassidy Art. I am super excited about that. Thank you, JJ. You are the best. So you guys make sure and tell him how wonderful his work is. All right. So here we go. In no particular order, but I just love these. So you get to tell us about each one. And of course,
Okay.
we're going to start off with this.
Oh, Willie Mays. Yeah. Um, I'm a huge baseball fan, judging from the hat, especially, right? But I've always
Mhm.
been a baseball fan, and Willie was probably, I would think, one of the greatest players in Major League history, and it was funny. I played softball with a guy for around 10 years that was a huge Giants fan, and I originally did this one for him, and it's one of my more popular prints that I sell a lot of. But
I love that. I absolutely think it's amazing. So if everybody knows, and I've got one at the very end we're going to show, but it wasn't in my collection, but you always surprise me. But your medium is color pencil. Isn't that right?
yes, yeah, yeah, I utilize colored pencil. I've utilized pretty much every medium over the years. I've painted, and I've done watercolor, acrylics. Haven't really delved in any oils or anything like that. But I find colored pencils is allows me to get the effects I want in the easiest way for me. But I don't normally use them in a traditional sense. I have my own method. So like I say, I don't tell people how to really do things because I do things my own way. But
Hmm. I understand that completely too because I have my own method to my madness, and I try all kinds of mediums, but most of the time I'm an oil painter. But I paint so differently than everyone else. But I think that it's also what makes us unique, right? Is because we come up with our own way. Um, and you definitely have an amazing, phenomenal way here, guys. I agree. Thank you guys. I'm just going to say this up front. Thank you guys for your comments and compliments. I appreciate it. And I'll be posting them as I can grab them. But I am all right. We're already getting amazing and outstanding. I agree with you guys. And phenomenal. One of the things I really like about his sports ones that he does is they almost come off like a trading card per se. And I really, in a certain aspect, but I love that you put in the logo and you've got the different profiles on them, one and usually in action and one of their actual picture. I just think that's really great.
Yeah, well, the thing is, not everybody's a sports fan either. So, by putting the logos in, so it'll tell them, what team he really is for. But um, my general layout for all my sports stuff started, really back in the '90s, when I had my own shop. Um, we used to do a lot of shows, and back then, and a lot of the comic and card shows, sports card shows, athletes used to be there for autograph signings. That was the big draw. So I would pick, certain athletes that were going to be there, and I would do a drawing of this type, and I would offer them at my booth or my table for a unique autograph opportunity for these people. And so, I have quite a few that are signed by professional athletes and so forth. But it's just a way that I think that these collectors can really do something amazing or have something unique in their collection. But also, it's interesting that you said about cards, because when I do shows, during the summer or whatnot, all my sports stuff, especially, we make into 2.5 by 3.5 inch cards. And so every year they go in there. So I'll have like a baseball set or a football set of different things that
Hmm.
I've done in card form, which makes it a
Nice.
lot less expensive for people, and they get to have my entire collection for that year.
Oh my gosh, that is so awesome. And speaking about shows, one thing that I've always promoted to you artists is find your people. If you are creating something with like sports, for instance, go to a sports bar or go to some place where they're promoting that. If you're creating something in food, maybe go to restaurants, or if landscape art or restaurants. I mean, find your zones. And you've got a very special showing coming up here, do you not?
I do. In March, I've been asked by a local sports bar slash grill to post some of my work up there for the entire month of March. And you know, this is actually going to be one of the pieces that are going to be up there. But yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. It'll be a lot of fun. I plan on making an appearance. They've asked me to make an appearance there a couple times for during a watch event that they're having for the Portland Trailblazers, and
Mhm.
I'll probably end up creating a piece for that.
That is so exciting. I mean, I am just brimming from ear to ear with a huge smile because that is exactly how you do it. You find what you're creating and then you find your zone or your people or whatever that are interested in that. Next thing you know, you guys have shows, you're being spotlighted. I mean, I'm so happy for you. I can't even tell you. I think you know that because we've had conversations, but I am just brimming with pride and so excited for you and your upcoming celebrations shows. So that's awesome, Rick.
Thank you.
Very awesome.
I have to give credit to my daughter-in-law actually, who really kind of helped me with that. So it
Nice.
was because of her.
Nice. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. All right. Our next one. And I love it when you do the youth, Rick.
This is
I
my
do.
youngest son. I did
Really?
this one his first year Little League. It was my future All Star. He played his little. This was during almost like T-ball, and he was on a team called the Yankees. Being a Red Sox fan, I couldn't have him play on the Yankees. So the following year, the company I worked for, Red Wing Shoes, we sponsored a team, and we became the Red Wing Warriors. And he uh, he played for me for a number of years, made All Stars, and we did very very well as a little league team. But I do high school athletes and and so forth too for people. I can do commissions, and I just did that to honor my son.
That is so awesome. And I just loved it. I just had to, I mean, and that's really awesome to know that this is his son as well, right? Man, that's awesome. I do have a question. I think most of your work, is about the same size, but if you could tell everyone what your average size of your work is, a question being asked.
9 by 12 is where I normally work at, but I have done commissions in 11 by 14s as well. In my
Nice.
earlier days when I was painting, I've done everything from wall murals to 16 by 20s to even 18 by 24s. But nowadays with the
Right.
pencils and so forth, it's 9 by 12s normally. It makes it
There you
easier
guys
for
go.
prints to be made.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. Those murals don't really come off too well for prints.
No, they don't.
I've done a few murals too, so I know, but I'm just joking about that. There you guys go, so you know. And yes, if you guys have something that you like, or if you have something that you want commissioned, then you just need to make sure that you reach out to Rick. This is so precious. I love it, and I love that it's your son on top of it. So really cool.
Well, this player is now 23 years old, so yeah.
Is he? Did you
Yeah.
give it to him as a gift?
It's still kicking around here someplace. I can give it
Is
to
it?
him, but if he wants it, but
Well, maybe someday he will. Oh, all right. So all over the place. I mean, I just love it because you do anything from celebrities, to sports figures to landscapes. You guys, we're going to see it all tonight. And so we've got this amazing one. You want to tell us about this one?
yeah. Ghostbusters, one of my favorite movies. I
Mm-hmm.
do a lot of movie and television art, especially with shows that I really like, and I tend to like this one an awful lot. But I also do holiday pieces and mainly Christmas and Halloween. So this was actually a
Mm-hmm.
Halloween piece that I did, and I always post them on all of my virtual studios and social media sites for my followers and whatnot. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I enjoy doing that type of stuff, especially with celebrities that people actually know, so that they say, "Oh,
Right.
well, yeah, that does look like him," or even there have been times when said, "No, that doesn't really look like him at all." But
Right. And most of your work is recognizable, everyone. So, you got to be, I don't know about you. I get a little, nervous when I have got to do something that people are going to recognize. But you've been doing it for so long. You must this must come easier to you. But I mean, you do really, and most of his work, everyone, is something you're going to recognize, or somebody you're going to recognize. And I think it's phenomenal.
well, I
Absolutely.
try to do a good job with it. I mean, I tend to like to draw people more than anything else, simply
Yeah.
because I find it easier, for me. Drawing landscapes or doing landscapes and stuff like that, I really struggle with stuff like that. Or even in some of my backgrounds, doing buildings or anything like that, I can't draw a straight line using a ruler. I just can't. It just doesn't really work for me. And so I find drawing people a lot easier.
And that I was just totally the opposite of you. Like, give me a ruler any day, right? I'm like, I'm so much happier with that. But I agree because you know what my voice says here too, right? Overlapping the images, right? It really gives it such depth, and it's amazing. I think that is really
Well, with
great.
with an ensemble piece like this, you have to have all the main characters. So and this was done in 9 by 12 inch size, so you have to kind of overlap. Otherwise, you're going to run out of space real
Wait,
quick.
right? Exactly. Where are you going to put it all? I agree. And something else that you guys have noticed here too, and I've told you guys this about, watermarking your work is something, pretty important, especially, well, any day, but it just gives you a sense to make sure that your art is truly stays with you and doesn't get taken by somebody else. So just FYI, as you guys can see these amazing watermarks, but it's also his logo. So 2 for 1 on this. Right. Oh, I think so too. Okay, I didn't even see that. I'm grabbing this comment because I think so too, Frosty. I'm going to show that one right here and then we'll talk about that. That's awesome. Says the world needs more Rick Cassidy, St. Louis Cardinal drawings.
Yeah, I've done some St. Louis Cardinals there, Frosty. I have. I've got a Mark McGuire. I've got a number of them. Stan the Man Musial. I got them.
Mhm. That's right. That's awesome. Donna's asking, so how long does it usually take you to do a piece?
From start to finish, it really depends on the piece. Some of them come together a lot quicker and a lot easier than others. But anywhere between 10 to 15 hours from start to finish.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. We love
I
this
tend, I tend
piece.
to go pretty quick.
Yeah, you are very quick. Absolutely awesome. And not only we got the amazing Wonder Woman here. This is
Yeah,
so
that
good.
was done for a classic Wonder Woman fan, the Linda Carter Wonder Woman.
Mhm.
That was actually done in acrylic paint and ink. So that
Is
one
it
wasn't
really?
colored pencil. Yeah, that
That
one was done. That was I actually painted that. It's acrylic paint and ink on comic comic book backboard. So, and then the
okay.
background portions, the temples and whatnot, were just done in graphite pencil. I threw something in there
Right.
because I felt it needed something, not just having her standing there on a blank white, page. But
Wow. I multi-talented, multi-talent here, guys. This is a painting. This is absolutely phenomenal. I agree with you guys, right? I agree. Linda Carter was the best. I think so too. But you know what? As a dynamic as this is, look at the gold. That is not an easy thing to capture, whether you're drawing it or painting it. And I always admire when it comes off that real, that shiny, that it looks, really authentic. You did such a good job with the metals on this. Just
thank you.
phenomenal. Wow.
Yeah, it was a little difficult, and unlike pencil, painting is a little bit less forgiving. With pencil, if I don't get a shade quite right, I can use a power eraser and I can really pretty much take something out. With paint, I can't really do that. So, yeah,
Right. That's amazing. I agree with you on that. I mean, if you mess up with painting, you basically have to redo, or repaint over it. I understand that. So, a power eraser, is that just like a mechanical eraser?
yeah, it's a battery operated eraser or something. Well, I'm sitting at my workstation, my drawing desk. That's what I'm
Right.
sitting at. But this is a power eraser.
Okay, 1 second. Oh my gosh, that is really cool. I've never never seen one. No, I've never had one. I'm gonna have to get something like that. But I'm not. I'm not rest. I agree. Rich colors. Drawing is not my forte per se. But man, if you guys are, that is a really great tip there. Power erasers. That's awesome. You guys, I knew you'd light up on this. Right? I think it's a great piece too. Absolutely phenomenal. Man, color pencils and painting. Do you think about doing paintings again?
I have from time to time. I've shared some of my canvas pieces. A matter of fact, just on my
Hmm.
favorite artwork Friday today, I posted a Batman piece that I did. That's hanging in my studio. But yeah, I have been actually thinking about starting up painting again.
Have
But
you?
I'm going to probably be doing for. I was going to do it this year, and I just ran out of time. But I was going to do a Halloween lawn display with plywood and
Yes.
do the Peanuts characters and to post in my yard here. But um, I was gonna cut them out and paint them up and do all of that. But I'll keep you posted if anything like that happens. But
Amazing. It's amazing that you said that because when I was young, my sister had a knack for art too and did that. She did them skating, the Peanuts character skating, and we're
hmm
on plywood.
hmm
It's really awesome, guys. And it's a decoration that you can have, doesn't take any lights, it's a really, really great idea. That is awesome. Absolutely awesome. All right. Next one up.
yeah, this was done just this last year. The Riddler. This was a series that I did a 14-piece series called Batman Fight Night, where I explored all the different criminals, but based on the criminals' point of view. So this was the Riddler. Um,
Mhm.
and everyone had either a hint of Batman or Robin in it. Robin is, of course, the one that's tied up back there. But and the way I envision it is the way that Riddler's looking at you is he's looking at Batman. Batman is there, and that's what he's doing here. So, but that was
Great
done in
perspective.
colored pencil and Copic marker. So
right.
The
I just
Robin figure was done in Copic marker, but the Riddler was done in colored pencil.
the colors are amazing, just absolutely amazing. I love how rich you get these beautiful colored pencils, from the skin tones to the outfits. I mean, they just pop off the page, right? I agree. Such detail and perspective.
But yeah, well, the thing that does that too is that the colored pencils I use are Prismacolor soft core colored pencils, so they're very soft, and it's a wax base, obviously. So the Copic markers that I use to enhance the color on a lot of even the colored pencils, you go over it with the Copic marker because it's a alcohol based ink in the marker, so it melts the wax, and it tends to give it more of a blended look and almost like a painted look.
Wow. I love that. Great tips, guys. If you're out there, write this stuff down. So I don't know if you're using anything like that, but you might want to try those out. I've heard great things about Prismacolor colored pencils. Just
They're not
awesome.
cheap.
No, they're not. No, they're not. If I was more of a color pencil artist, I might do that, but I'm going to let the experts like you just continue to have that. But isn't this beautiful? And I love, like you said, the perspective of this. Dang well he is looking or talking to someone like, hey, I got your guy.
That's it. Yeah.
Absolutely phenomenal, right? I agree, Dada. The translucent colors are absolutely awesome.
And then with this
It
one too,
just
this one for the last show that I did, it was made into a card set, and I on my online store I have the whole Batman Fight Night card set available for people. So where you would spend $15 for a print, and if you collected all 15, that would be rather an investment. But for only $15, you can get all 15 cards. So you get the entire set for $15. But
that is awesome. Absolutely awesome. And I looking for that. I did not have it. Tell me your website real quick, Rick.
my sales website,
Yeah.
it's just on Macari, and yeah, all you got to do is Macari Cassidy Art.
Okay. Um, so there you guys go. We'll grab
It's
that.
it's
And
also
so,
it's also there's a link on my Truth page for my
okay,
site for my store
there
too.
you guys go. That's right. Awesome. Make sure you're following him on Truth at Rick CC, everybody, so you can grab that. Fantastic job on this.
Thank you.
All right. Tell us about this one.
Oh yeah, Tom Brady. Um, I'm not a big Patriots fan, but good is good. This guy was a great quarterback, a great player. But I don't know. I've been asked. I was asked a lot to if I've done Tom Brady, and like I said, I really dislike this team, being that my team is their rival. But so I decided I would finally have to do him, and this was again just this last season. So yeah, and I utilize pictures, for the different poses and whatnot. But
That is awesome. So for your I should say inspiration piece, but for your reference, a reference piece, you look at different
yes, I
photos.
use pictures
So
for
even if you
reference.
don't like, right, even if you don't like the person or it's your rival team, you're still kicking it out awesome. Like,
Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't
not
like
gonna
the
do it.
team, but good is good, right?
Right,
I
right,
don't begrudge any player. I mean, good is good.
right. Oh, this is just amazing. I really love how you put in the logos. I know you said that so people know. Because a lot of times too, I mean, I don't follow a lot of sports per se, but I am one that can look at, I go, oh, okay, I know exactly who you're talking about. I know my sports teams, but I might not necessarily, especially nowadays, I don't know if I would know the players. I know Tom Brady, but I don't know, you know what I mean? The newer ones, I
Yeah.
wouldn't have a clue. So I really love having the logos as well.
Well,
Just phenomenal.
I got a little bit of flack for not doing one of the poses when he was with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but he made all of his history with the Patriots, so that's why I put him as a Patriot.
Mm, that's right. Very cool. Very cool. All right. This is one of my favorites. I mean, you guys, I picked both of these too, but I don't know. This is just one I love so much.
That one there, that was done a while ago. That one was actually done in watercolor,
Really,
ink and
multi-medium.
watercolor, ink and watercolor on this one. Um, yeah, you basically, I did the sketch, then you ink the sketch, the traditional comic type format, and then I used watercolor for the most part. And for like the fine line and detail, you use watercolor pencils, where they're like colored pencils, but you just put the watercolor, you put the darker shade down, and then you just take clear water and you graduate it across, and it creates depth on its own. So
Really. Wow. I'm learning something new. I've never dealt in watercolor pencils either, guys. So we are learning a lot tonight. You guys grab a notebook, and take some notes. You are dropping all kinds of amazing tips here. Love that. Man of Steel is right. Isn't this absolutely an amazing piece? Just dynamic. And I don't know about you guys, but this is the Superman that I love, the Superman I grew up with, so it makes it even more nostalgic for me. Just awesome.
yeah, I draw
Wow
Superman
is
quite a
right.
bit. I draw Superman quite a
Mm-hmm.
bit, but
I know, but I love it. I'll take it all the time. I know that you just did this last Christmas. You guys, there's another person who does Christmas cards or Christmas pieces. I don't know if you use them for your cards. You should,
I don't use
but
them
he,
for. I haven't used any for my cards, no. But
man, you should.
yeah, I just
They're
recently
excellent.
started sharing my Christmas type piece. Well, I always share a Christmas piece, but normally it's more of um, like a Santa Claus or something like that. My religious pieces,
Mm-hmm.
I haven't shared them up until now, and then I just started pretty much sharing them with on Truth, and
Mm-hmm.
so.
Yeah, unless I highlight you as the artist of the day, then I'm going to be sharing it out on X as well too. I'm like, I'm always so proud of you guys. I like to share you everywhere.
Well,
Isn't
you
this
can share them
excellent?
wherever you want. But I'm just saying. Normally, that's what I do. But you never know with the social media pages. You never know who's actually going to see it, and I don't want to
Right,
cause any problems for myself or anybody else.
right. Well, I see you guys saying share more, but I'll tell you what, if you're following him or if you're in our groups, you guys can help share this stuff out. That's what we should be doing for each other. Not just me. Everybody needs to share each other's workout, right? And let's all grow together. This is beautiful piece, my friend.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Man, just love it. I'm just sitting here looking at the stare, his eyes, his muscles
Yeah,
in
he
his
does it.
face and neck.
Yeah, it's kind of a
So
cold stare, doesn't he?
right? But yeah, it's like you're not messing around with me. But it's
Well,
beautifully
that's
done.
also another thing that I've also been told that whenever I draw Superman, for me, Superman is portrayed as like a Boy Scout, a goody goody type person. But in the comics, it's sometimes a little different. He is the strongest being on this planet, supposedly, right?
Mhm.
He's not gonna take a whole lot of mess, right? He's gonna he's gonna flex a little bit. So I always
Mhm.
drew him in with that type of attitude.
Well, I like that because it shows him a man of strength, and yeah, we all know that he's happy, he's rescued somebody, he's saved the world or whatever, but I like to see him portrayed like this too,
Hmm.
very nicely done.
Thank you,
Amazing. You're welcome. All right. Your next one.
Captain Kirk. Yeah, I did this one. This was also a series. There's a series of 10, and I did all the main characters, But this was done for a very close and dear friend of mine that passed away, this whole series. I did him the Spock for him because that was his favorite character. But this series was done in his memory, and I'm a big
Right.
Star Trek fan, and I'm currently working on a Star Trek like comic project that I've been sharing with you as well. But
That's right.
but I don't know. I this he's just the classic '60s hero type to me, and I really like that. And what people have said about this piece is the detail of the background and the chair, for instance. Everybody draws Shatner or Kirk, but I always try to put my portraits in like a scene or something like that, so that you can kind of draw your own story from it.
I love it. And I like it when people notice some of the other details because a lot of times people see like the main reference and they're like, oh, yeah, that's great. But, that's why, especially this week, I've been trying to get people to stop. I've been highlighting people, with just one picture so that people can stop and really see the details. Like you said, you got so many people talking about the chair. I mean, how many of us stop to really like, go, oh my gosh, look at the details of this. And we should, especially as artists, we should stop, reflect, and really look at the time and the details that somebody has put into their pieces, right? And this is a great example of that. Great
Well,
example
thank
of
you.
that. You're welcome. Okay. Sometimes I'm looking at the artwork myself. Sorry if I don't get you guys' comments up here, but yes. How old is he? He's 94 already. Oh my gosh, you guys are
Yeah,
making
yeah,
me feel old.
Shatner. Yeah, he's getting up there in age. There's only three of the original cast left. George Takei, who played Sulu, Shatner, who played Kirk, and Walter Koenig, who played Chekhov. Those are the only three that are left.
Wow. That's amazing. I mean, I'm sorry, but well, starting to date ourselves, aren't we? I'm nowhere
Yeah,
near
well, yeah.
94 yet. Thank heavens for reruns. And they do, I mean, an okay job, but there's nothing like the originals. I mean, you know, but then again, Superman, if I sat there and talked about Superman and the one I love with Christopher Reeves, my mom would say, that's not my Superman.
No, George Reeves was a lot of people's Superman, and then
That's
for my sons, it's Henry Cavill who played Superman, in
right.
in all of those great films. But
Oh, you're right. I saw a post and I shared it the other day. It was so funny. It was a mom talking about, well, when grandma was young, Clint Eastwood was like the total to die for a guy. It's kind of like the Brad Pitt of this day. And the daughter goes, who's Brad Pitt? But just to prove your point, right? We all
Yep.
grow up with something different. Oh,
Hmm.
that's funny. But this is phenomenal. Love it. And I am glad that you were able to honor your friend this way as well. Very nice. Oh, talk about
Yes.
heroes. Talk about
Star
our
Wars.
generation.
Yeah, Star Wars is still very dear to me. I enjoy that series immensely. But um,
Hmm.
I did this piece, and there's a few others that I did as well because I submitted my artwork to the Topps trading card company because they were doing a artist Star Wars set that they were going to publish, but I didn't make the cut, which that's fine. I thought this one turned out pretty nice anyway. But
My gosh. No way. I'm always surprised by that because I mean this one is just so great. The details, I mean, you guys look at this face details too. I I have a question. So when you're doing like the sunglasses, not the sunglasses, but the reflector or whatever that goes over the
Mhm.
eyes, how hard is that to create? Because you're doing something in the back, but then you got to cover it in a certain tone. So how hard is that to do something like
It's
that?
it's not that difficult, not with my method, because basically what you do is I'm a comic book artist, so I'm a big fan of the hard line, right? So if you're going to be seeing like the face in a reflection through the visor, you got to kind of stay away from the hard line for the most part, and you stay away, and you
Gotcha.
go to from a 3 or 4 color palette for the skin tone to maybe a 2 color palette. So that orange, there's only like 2 colors there. So the shadow is a darker orange, and then I went over the entire thing with a light orange Copic marker,
Oh,
and that's
nice.
that's what kind of gave it that translucent
Yeah.
effect. And of course, the white on it was
So
that was just standard colored pencil, and you can see just how much that colored pencil stands out against, just say, a normal, just like a the Copic marker.
right, man. I just think this is. I'm with you guys, right? Or phenomenal. Right? I love it. Love it. I told you guys tonight was going to be some amazing, phenomenal work. I was not lying. But there's little parts. I mean, we look at certain things, and I always tend to like. I'm like that nose on the bigger picture when he's in his suit, the nose and the lips, just the detail on that alone. I don't know why that captures me so well, but I was like, man, look at how awesome that's done. I mean, the whole piece is, but
Yeah,
that just captures.
and then
Go
I
ahead.
kind of broke out my artsy side by not doing a complete full face of him in his helmet. I just said, well, we'll just kind of indicate a little bit of that, because he kind of had a
Mm-hmm.
dual life in that first movie. He was the farm boy, which is the one I have on the bottom there, and then he became the pilot. So
Right. I agree. I agree with the Starfighter in the back. I mean, this is just so great. Just takes me back to happy memories. How many of you guys are going to go rewatch Star Wars after tonight? Maybe a Superman, maybe a Batman, but I know you guys will be in the mood. And I most of the time I put these all over the place, but I don't know why, but I was like Star Wars. We've got to put these two together.
yeah,
I'm a
Han
huge Star Wars
Solo.
fan too, so
That was also done for
right,
the same reason.
right,
Yeah, but like I said, I thought it would have been a great thing if I could have gotten on with Tops or something, because back in the day, Tops used to do art cards in their baseball set, and a tremendous artist named Dick Perez did the baseball art, and he follows me on Instagram and likes all my
does he?
baseball stuff. Especially, he's also an artist for the MLB Hall of Fame. So
Nice.
I thought that was kind of special if he likes my stuff. He's a pretty big deal, but.
Right. I think so too. What is a few of you artists do is like when you do a rendering of somebody famous. I've seen this on X. They'll go and they will tag the famous person in there, and sometimes they see that and reply back or like on it or whatever. And I've seen that several times. I'm like, right. I think that's just a really good idea.
I've done that
This
with
is
athletes
beautiful.
for sure.
Have you? Have
Hmm.
you ever had them reply back to you?
Yeah, I have quite a large collection of actually having my prints signed by the athlete. So
That is so cool. That's so cool. Something to never sell. You're probably
no,
like, no,
no.
right.
As a matter of fact, I
Once it's
through
got
my
that
sis
autograph.
through my older sister, I did a portrait of a ex baseball player named Bill Lasky, and played for the San Francisco Giants mostly. But I through her, I was commissioned by his wife to do a portrait of him for Christmas. And for
Right.
payment, all I wanted was to I would create a print and have him sign it. That's all I wanted. But and he did that for me. So
That is really, that is so cool. You guys, that is really awesome. I can't even imagine. That would make me pretty happy, right? And I'll have to look into that. You guys are telling me Tops was the stuff back then, and I'm unfamiliar with what that is. So you guys will have maybe you can explain that. Maybe some other people don't know what Tops is, but I know Try says
Tops.
it was, yeah, Tops.
Tops is one of the oldest and most established sports card company in the world. They always did
Ah, okay,
baseball
that's
and so forth, but they have branched out into non-sport type cards. And back, I'd say in the early 2000s, they were doing a lot of art card sets, and they were doing a Star Wars one, and I thought that would be a great opportunity for me to do that.
why.
But like I said, I didn't quite make the cut, which is fine. The set is is tremendous. The artists that they got were spot on. They were great. But
right? I thank you for that clarification. So there you guys. If you didn't know, now you guys know because I know I didn't know. But how awesome is that? All right, our next one, and I know you're such a fan. Oh, look at
oh, Batman,
just
yeah. This is the Val Kilmer Batman from Batman Forever. Um,
is awesome.
this was I posted this one right shortly after he died, which was unfortunate. But I actually he's
Mhm.
one of the only cinematic Batmans that I actually met. I actually got his
Really?
autograph. But yeah, it was he had throat cancer by the time I got to meet him, so he
Mhm.
wasn't what he was. But
Right.
I do get to say that I actually met Batman, so that was fun.
That is really cool. That is really cool. I was glad that they were able to throw him in the Maverick movie, even if it was just a short, cameo. I think that was
Yeah,
really awesome for them to include him.
my favorite role that he ever did was Doc Holliday, though, from Tombstone.
Yes, me
I liked
too.
him as Batman, but he's not my favorite Batman. But I liked him as Batman. But
Right.
Doc Holliday was it for him.
I agree. Oh my gosh, that was such a great role. I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, the reason, one of the reasons this really stuck out to me is because the way that you were able to capture this, leather, this vinyl look, this whatever, it's magnificent.
No,
I mean,
thank you.
it's just so beautiful. Like, wow. That is unbelievable to be able to. It just floors me when you guys are able to create metals or vinyls or leather or whatever, and it looks so realistic. It just really is a marvel to me. And your guys' is amazing talent, and that's what stood out with me on this one.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. I agree, guys. I love Doc Holiday too, right? But yeah, see, and I'm not the only one. Love that shiny black, right? Isn't it amazing? I know. Just
You
shows
just
you
got
a
to
master at their
you just got to keep the white pristine is really all you got to do. I mean, you tend to get bleed, and if that's the enemy there, right?
Yeah. So is there a secret technique? Do you just kind of cover it as you go so it doesn't bleed onto that or get any kind of issues?
Yeah, I tend to go ahead first, and I'll do the highlights first. I'll lay the white in really rather heavy because the blacks or I never use just a straight black. That's like a 90. The black aspects are like a 90% warm gray color, but I'm
Really?
very heavy handed, so. Um, what you do is by laying the whites in to keep them pristine, you're always going to get a little bit of play over it, where you're going to get like speckles or it's
Mm-hmm.
going to become dingy looking. So then by having the wax down on it first, you can take that power eraser I showed you and you take it off
Gotcha.
and then you reapply the white.
That's brilliant. Brilliant idea. That just, see, this is why he is the master at this, guys. I mean, unbelievable. And it is because I went over to my bigger screen, my other tab. I have quite the big, large monitor, and I'm like, I don't see any speckles here, Rick.
No, no, no. Like I say, then you can just kind of take that
Right,
power eraser and you erase it out, and then you can
right.
reestablish the white, and it looks pristine. But if I
Yes,
if I tried to do that without getting it dirty at all, I'd still be working on it to this day. It'd be very
right,
difficult.
right. This is just absolutely phenomenal. Great job. Great job. All right. Back to sports.
Huh? Kobe Bryant.
I know who this is. That's right.
Um, this is the second Kobe I did. I did a Kobe right after he died. Um, but that was done for my my niece's son because he knew Kobe and knew his kids and whatnot. But um, I went ahead and did this other one not too long ago because people were always asking me, "What do you do? Have you ever done Kobe Bryant? Have you ever done Kobe Bryant?" And if I do a commission for somebody or I do something for one of my family members, I normally don't make prints of that. That's theirs. So
Right.
I had enough requests that I went ahead and um, did another Kobe. And this one also will be on display in the Ichabod's show in March.
Really.
Hmm.
That's exciting. That is so exciting. I just love, I mean, there's so much to love about this. I mean, first of all, I love contrast colors, and yes, their outfits that way, but it's brilliant because look at how much the purple and the yellow just really complement and contrast each other, right? And just shows up so vividly. But don't you guys just love that ball? Its emotion almost looks like it's on fire. I think that is so excellent,
Yeah,
right? There it is.
yeah.
Good.
Capturing movement can be a difficult sometimes, you know. So that's an old comic book technique. So that's kind of what I used.
Right. Okay, now I'm looking at the comments. Right, exactly. The movement, and you've captured him in action, and I think that is, really beautifully done. Beautifully done.
Thank
I
you.
was going to ask you this, but I think I already know my answer. When you do the logos, you don't do them in color because I think it's because you don't want to take away from your main subjects, and I really like that you do that.
Correct. Yeah. The main focus on the piece should be the player. So I always use like graphite pencil to do the logos. And if somebody were to hire me or commission me to do something and say, look, I'd really like the logo to be in color, I can do the logo in muted colors that would still
Right.
carry over. But it's where the players are all in colored pencil. The logo, if it was in color, would just be in Copic markers, so
Right.
that it would be a lot more muted. But um, I cut my teeth working in pencil, so I tend to be really comfortable in working in pencil. And to get it as smooth
Mhm.
as you do, again, I use alcohol in an alcohol
Right.
pen. So
That's awesome. That is really awesome. I mean, I've talked to you about that before, and I've got to try that to really, just even just dabbling, just to play around to see how that would work, to make that kind of smoothness. I'm nowhere near this kind of level, but try it out on a flower or something like that to see, because I still haven't tried that. And I said that last time. I'm like, I got to try this.
mhm.
So I
Well,
love it,
the
guys. And it's awesome.
you just gotta try it. Like I say, I've taught myself everything I wanted to do. I mean, I'd see things and I'd say, I like that. No, so how would I do that? And then I would just start experimenting, and that's really what it come up to.
That's awesome. I just think you're amazing. As we can
Thank you.
see here, you're welcome. Okay. This is another one of my favorites. See, I said about the little ones. I'm like, I don't know, but this little boy is just so precious. All right,
Well,
tell us about this.
this one was based on really my childhood, because back in the day, I've always been a Red Sox fan, and back in the day, they didn't have a lot games on TV, and where I grew up in Vermont, I only had one TV channel anyway. Um, but the games were on every night on the radio. And so, the radio commentators, it was like you're at Fenway Park. So I listened to the games a lot, almost every game.
Mhm.
And, you fell asleep listening to the game. The game started, like 7 o'clock at night, and wouldn't be over until after my bedtime. So I would fall
Right,
asleep listening to the games. But nowadays, I mean, I watch every Red Sox game on TV. So
right. But this just takes us back to such a sweet, memory. And of just listening to the games on radio or dreaming of being, that wonderful sports person, maybe, just absolutely awesome. And it is, I agree with you, my voice, it is so precious, right? Everything about this piece, I just think is wonderful, right? Everything about this.
yeah,
I love
thank you.
that.
I tend to draw, inspiration from things that have happened to me or experiences, right? So this is the one that reminds me of my youth for the most. So
Right, it is beautiful. Right, I'm with you guys. It does. I never thought about this. I agree. I'm trying to get this up so much, but Kim says it kind of reminds me of Norman Rockwell in this aspect. Yeah, it's got kind of that characteristic of it. But man,
wow,
I
That's thank you for that. That
Go ahead.
Rockwell is he's a legend.
Yes, he is. I
Thank
did
you.
a little tribute to him for Christmas, but it's amazing because, a lot of us think of Santa or whatever, but there's so much more that he's done, but he's nostalgic. He is one of our greatest American artists out there. But I agree. Now that she said that, I'm like, right? It's taking you to this moment in time that he was really great at capturing. But I love it. This is one of my absolute favorite pieces from you. Just right,
A lot of
Sandlot
people like this
baseball.
one.
That's right. Do you sell lots of prints of this?
I don't really have that in prints. I just did that
Really?
pretty much for me.
Okay.
I get a lot of good positive feedback from it, but I haven't really made that into prints.
Well, I'll tell you, it's awesome. It is a really great one, and I love it. Everything about it, right? I mean, even the hat looks like it's jean material. Everyone, it's so beautifully done. Thank you for
I
letting
tried
us
to make
enjoy
it
this
look
piece, my friend.
as beat up as my hat did when I was a kid. So see,
You
it's the
did a
same hat.
great job, right? It is. That's awesome. That is awesome. We love it. Absolutely love it. Okay. See, now everything is, a person. And I try to include some of the things, that you may not think it's your favorite to do, but you do them extraordinary. And I just love this little dog.
This is my wife's dog, Riley. Um, that dog dislikes me to the most ever. She just does not like me. But I thought I would I my one of my sons has a French bulldog as well named Lucy, and I did one of Lucy, and so I decided, well, I'll do one of Riley too. But yeah, I've actually drawn Riley twice. The other Riley was done in a comic book type format where she was a Thor villain named Loki. So she's wearing a Loki helmet and everything. So
Oh my gosh. I love it. You're
uh,
like, this dog doesn't like me at all.
no, she doesn't. She doesn't like me at all.
Oh, but yet, I bet your wife really loved this drawing. I'm
Yeah,
sure
she
of it,
likes it. Yeah, she likes it. It's her. It's her dog. That's for sure. But
right? Oh, that is so funny. Oh, I love it. That's something that my husband has talked about too. He's like, if we ever, get other dogs after the crew we have here, we've thought about having the French bulldog as well. Do you like that breed?
well, my wife does. I my last dog was a breed that I absolutely loved, and that was a beagle. And we lost her a number of years ago. We had to put her down, and I haven't had another dog since. It really affected me
Right.
in a rough way, to the point that I I have thought about drawing her every once in a while, but I can't. It just doesn't. I
Right.
can't really do her justice, and I actually have a picture of her hanging right here above my drawing desk.
Yeah.
But I see her every day. So yeah.
Well, maybe you get one of our artist corner friends to do it because I had the same thing. I had my male dog, and he was a wolf that we rescued running around, and just found him on Christmas Eve and named him Claus. And he's just a white wolf. It was one of the best dogs I ever had. And when he passed, it was so hard. And I don't really, I probably could maybe, but I'm not really an animal artist. But our wonderful friend Nancy, she saw that. And for my birthday present, she did that of me. And so now I get to enjoy it and have it. Because another thing, too, is how do you paint or draw something without crying because it's such a moving story for you, you
Well,
know?
yeah, yeah, and even to the point that if I lose a really dear loved one, I can't really draw
How,
them either because
right.
I never feel I could do them justice. It never looks the way they are in my mind's eye. Let's say, so yeah.
I agree. I agree. That would be really hard on me as well too. I mean, geez, just even trying to do the savior, I'm bawling. My hands are shaking. You know what I mean? I can't imagine.
I, I think I told you
Can't
that
imagine.
before that, I don't really share my religious pieces all that much because I don't feel I can do them justice. And it wasn't
Oh wow.
until I got involved with truth that I started sharing my religious stuff. And but
We're
yeah,
so happy you guys are going to see those tonight, a few of those as well, because I am so glad you did. Because yes, you do them justice. They're phenomenal.
well, thank you.
But you're welcome. You also do animals really, really well. I mean, I don't know. I think artists are really hard on themselves because every single aspect of your work, no matter what you try to do, I'm always amazed at your ability. Isn't this absolutely beautiful, everyone?
Well, birds. I dislike birds, so I'm not I'm not a big bird person. But birds and animals, besides Batman, were really the first things that I took up drawing. So
Right. Really.
yeah,
And yet you're a big bird fan. Well, I'll tell you what, for not being a very big bird fan, you did this so magnificently.
well, thank you.
I'm like, wow, it is just striking. I think a lot too is, we don't, a lot of us too, and I'm trying to get out to artists too, that your backgrounds can be semi abstract, don't have to be a lot of detail, especially if you got a focal point like you guys see here. The owl in the tree, that he's in is the focal point. So the back can be, especially in the very, very back, can be a little bit more toned down or abstract if you want. And I think it makes the focal point pop out more, as you guys can see here. But man,
Well, if you get too detailed in that background, you're going to lose the owl completely. If you try, and
right.
that's usually what happens with people that just start drawing, is that they try to draw every twig, every needle of a tree, and you lose
Mhm.
the forest for the trees, for instance. So I wanted the focal point to be that tree and the bird that sitting on it. So that's why I
Right.
did what I did. Yeah.
I agree. I love that. Yes, the forest of the trees. That was a great reference. That is so awesome. Oh, I isn't it beautiful? And you guys were commenting. I was going to do the same thing on that wonderful branch that he's sitting on. Right. Look at the detail of that beautiful um, dead tree and the branches. Look at the bark and how it just even kind of shines to some aspect. It's also absolutely amazing in its own right.
The funny thing is when I did this, I had my studio in another room, and there's a dead tree right outside my window where my drawing table was. That's the tree.
Is it really?
Yeah,
That is awesome. So you actually had a live model to sit there and draw.
yeah, yeah. Basically, that's that branch, the one that's coming up in front of the owl. That's what I see out my window. So, yeah,
Amazing.
that's how that came about.
That's funny. Okay, I I'm trying to get all of you've lit up the chat with this one. I love it, guys. Oh, that's funny, right? I mean, everyone is loving on the owl. I mean, I'm glad maybe we're just getting some more people here too. But yeah, I'm so glad to see that and all the channels here. You guys, right? Exactly over there on Pilled. You guys, welcome all new viewers. Thank you so much for joining me. And our guest tonight, Rick Cassidy, isn't his work phenomenal? And I agree, very majestic, absolutely awesome, absolutely amazing. I love it. I guess do more owls, Rick.
More owls and more eagles. The eagle
Yeah.
that I did was a big hit too. But
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. And it's very hard to choose, but I hope I did you justice. All right. I love dragons too. So, and I just think this is great. Tell us about this one.
again, from a TV show, The House of Dragons, the
Mhm.
HBO or the HBO series that was out, and yeah, I enjoyed Game of Thrones and that type of thing. So that's where this one came about.
That's
It's
funny.
based directly off of that House of Dragons show.
That's funny. My husband has seen this, and I've seen glimpses and so forth of it, but I still have not seen this series, guys. And I love dragons,
Oh, it's actually a pretty good series. You should watch it.
right? Yeah, I hear that. My husband says that too, but I don't know. I guess most of the time I was always busy, so I haven't seen it, but I'll have to check it out. So, but right again, look at the beautiful gold that's not only on the crown and on the the emblems right here, right? But also that's reflected into this beautiful dragon.
And if you
Just
notice on the
beautifully
dragon,
done.
there's actually a saddle there because they used to ride the dragons. They were dragon riders in this.
Yes. Yes, there is like a dragon. I'm not gonna say this right. A dragon queen or a queen of the
Yeah,
dragons.
yeah,
Thank you.
she's the queen of dragons. Yeah.
Right. Like I said, he's he's told me about it and I've seen glimpses. But I think when he was watching this is when I was, running my school and I was so busy. Plus, keeping up with all you guys. But I will have to check it out. But it's really awesome. I do love dragons. Believe it or not, I have a few little figurines, but they've got gems and so forth in them. Just from my younger days. But this is done so well, and I hear that dragons are fun to draw. They would be.
They're interesting to draw. I think this
Yeah,
was my first and only attempt at drawing a dragon. So
right. I love it. I think it's great. Absolutely great. And I am seeing everyone's right. Exactly. It's very cool. Great detail, isn't it? Look at the scales. Look at, just on the side of his mouth is this opening here to look at the beautiful teeth. And I don't think white is easy to do. So the hair in itself, because when you're trying to portray white, you got to add in like light grays and certain things. So you can see that, you've got
there,
texture in
there's
there, but
there's like
go
four
ahead.
shades of gray in that white, and then everything goes back over all the gray and everything. The white goes all back over that, so it actually blends so that it mutes it to the point that it looks like it's more natural than just a line.
Mm-hmm. That's right. And you know what? You brought up a really good point there, because Nancy says I wouldn't have seen the saddle unless he mentioned it. This is why, you guys. This is why I've been posting this all week to stop, zoom in, and look at the details. Just relish. I've been picking like one a week that I'm trying to focus on and giving actually a really good review of it too. But just kind of zooming in on everybody's work to just. I noticed that like when I do 4 for the artist of the day, sometimes we don't stop to just really relish in that one piece. And I'm glad that you said that, Nancy, because yes, you're a great example of why we need to stop and look at the wonderful details. This is beautifully done.
Thank you.
Beautifully. You're welcome. Ah, I thought I had
The
it.
eagle.
You spoke about eagle. This is so
Yeah,
great.
this was the very first image I posted on Truth, the absolute first one. That one and Donald Trump, the one I did of Donald Trump. But um, I call this one the pride of the nation.
Absolutely phenomenal. Just phenomenal. There's so many things about this, but I'm also looking as we just talked about white and these mountains being basically white with different shades of light grays and whatever to show you, the textures and the ridges and, amazing. And this ghosted kind of background, except for the few of the trees. I mean, it's really awesome. And then,
Well,
obviously, go ahead.
the what was used on the background was all Copic marker, but again, it was because it's a alcohol based ink. You go over it with alcohol and it mutes everything to the point that you have to reapply. So layer upon layer upon layer of really light grays, and that's what you get.
Phenomenal. And I agree. What a way to come onto a social media. Here I am. Check me out. Right? You did it really well. I agree with you, Frosty. It's like, what an amazing first post. That would be really awesome. And I might have to do that in our group. Be like, what was your very first art post? Do you guys remember? Because it would be kind of interesting to see what you guys chose to say, here I am. And he came out just shining. I agree. Amazing first post.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I am
That was pretty popular. So
right. And I see that too. I'm grabbing all over the place, man. You guys are wonderful with your compliments. Thank you so much. That means the world. Don't forget to hit those likes and shares because The reason I say that is because I want the world to see what my guests are creating. So that's why it means so much to me, everyone. And I really, truly thank you for being here and your wonderful, beautiful compliments. Right? I know. My voice. I don't remember mine. I don't know if I would remember mine either. That's kind of funny. But he remembers.
Well, I
I
post an
agree.
awful lot on there, so but
Yeah. And so Donna, he had this idea for a 250th celebration, and I think I tagged you in that little comment because I think we all have certain aspects. So, like, wouldn't it be great if Rick did the eagle and somebody else did this part? Because I know you guys all do certain things, that we put this kind of mural together. So we'll have to talk about that later. We'll DM each other, but see, this is a prime example of how beautiful Rick's eagle would be in that mural. So really, really awesome. We are loving this piece, Rick.
thank you, thank you.
You're welcome. There's the man.
Captain America. Yeah,
That's
I
right.
draw, I draw him a lot too, but that was part of a series that I did last year called Comic Legends, and where I explored all the different superheroes from the different comic book universes, and that was my Captain America.
Right. That's awesome. Oh, I missed that real quick. Over there on Pilled, they said that eagle would be a really beautiful postage stamp. I agree, Hazel. That would
Oh
have been a really
wow!
beautiful postage stamp. Never even thought about that. Can you even submit your artwork into the postal services for something like that? I never even
No,
thought about that.
I've never really done that. Back in the '90s when I was doing the commercial art and everything, the Oregonian newspaper, which was here, would have a lot of artists, especially in their sports page with the Blazers and everything. And they contacted me asking for a portfolio at that point. And I never had any art classes or anything like that. And these people were professionals. This was really good stuff. And I was intimidated and I never submitted anything. But
Oh, well, maybe there'll be another opportunity, but that's something to think about too, because where does the postal service even get the artwork that goes onto these stamps? Just
I
another
don't know.
avenue out there for you artists. Never thought about it. Never thought about that. Right now, everybody's thinking about the stamps. Yeah, it would have been a few. Right, the 250th celebration. Maybe they'll jump on that, Rick. I don't know. That is something I will have to Google for you, or you can Google on your own or something. Like, how does that work? That is awesome. Awesome. Right? Oh, exactly. Okay, now I'm over there and pilled you guys with the wonderful Captain America memes. Yes, yes, yes. Isn't this great? Absolutely
Yeah, the
great.
Captain America. This one is more of a cinematic version of the Captain America, not the true comic version that I normally draw. But um, I don't know. I just feel that Cap is American. That's
Mm-hmm.
that's the true American hero. Him and Superman.
That's
So
right. That's right. And it's just right, even red, white, and blue. I mean, there is no
yeah,
coincidence
yeah,
on
you can't
their
get yeah.
costume. Amazing. It is so beautiful. I love it.
You
I
can
love
really
the
tell
flat.
on the reds the way the
Mm-hmm.
reds pop with the colored pencil. I mean, they really can stand out really strong.
Right. I was going to ask about the background. Is that the markers again that you were able to
Correct.
mute?
hmm It was the markers,
That is really cool.
and it was augmented with alcohol, so it even muted it even a little bit more.
That is just phenomenal. I can see this one being a very, very popular piece as well.
Yeah,
But
not my most popular Captain America, but one of, and not even my favorite one. But I shared one of my favorite Captain America of the painting I did for the little boy when I was doing that show. Do you remember that?
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah.
That's awesome. Right. I'm sorry. Thank you guys for joining me. Just real quick. Yes, he does do his stuff on baseball size cards. You can find his collections. If you guys are following him, please do. You can follow him on Truth at Rick CC, or on X at Cassidy Art. And he does have a little bit of a few different collections that he has made into baseball size card collections. So check that out. They
Yeah, if
asked
you
me
go
about
on if
that
you
already.
go on Truth, you can actually get a site link to my store where they're all at. So
Okay. You guys hear that? All right. And thank you, Alice, for joining us now. So I welcome all new viewers. So that was an excellent question. I'm glad to see the interest. I did right, exactly. I like the very faded flag in the background. Me too. It just that also shows you. It just makes the focal issue just pop even more when you're looking at these bright blues and reds. You know, it just makes those stand out even more. Really beautiful.
thank you.
Really beautiful. Speaking of superheroes,
Oh yeah, yeah, Supergirl. Yeah, I did this one after the last Superman movie because, Supergirl had a little bit of a cameo in it, and she's got her own movie coming out this year.
does
But
she?
yeah, yeah, Supergirl is coming out this year. But in the Superman movie, they had Crypto, which is the dog, and Crypto was Supergirl's dog. Well, in the comics, it's Superman's dog, but in her new movie, Crypto's going to be in it too. But so I
Is it?
decided when I drew Supergirl that I would have to put Crypto in there.
And does the dog fly?
Yes, he has all the
Really?
powers like all the powers like
Really?
Superman. And in the comics, when I was a
Obviously, it must have
kid,
came from his planet.
yeah,
Go
in
ahead.
the comics when I was a kid,
Wow.
Supergirl had a pet too, but it wasn't Crypto; it was a cat. It was a
Wow.
super cat. So yeah,
Oh, funny. I guess I need to read. They always say, that the books are always better than all the movies, guys. And here's a great example of the comics tell all these details. I wouldn't have had a clue.
yeah,
I'm like, okay. And I know that they had a TV show for her.
yeah,
When they had all the Flash and the whatever coming out.
yeah, yeah. The
They had a
CW
TV
had a
show,
show for her. Yes.
right? Man, isn't that awesome? I love it. So obviously she got popular enough to have a movie. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, the
Very
TV
cool.
show helped with that. This isn't going to be her first movie. They had a movie back in the 80s of Supergirl as well.
I think I can remember that now that you said
Mhm.
that.
Yeah, yeah. It didn't
Right?
get super critically acclaimed, but we'll see how this one works out. But I've always liked the character, so
Right? Oh, that is awesome. I love that. Oh, okay. Yeah, it was the cat was for Supergirl, huh?
yeah.
So that's
Yeah, they
funny.
had a whole stable of super animals. They had a horse, a cat, a dog, a monkey. Yeah, there was all kinds of weird stuff from the 60s.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
funny. Now, did the animals come from the planet, so that's how they could
Um,
fly and so forth?
I know that the cat in Crypto did. In one of the Superboy comics from the 60s, Crypto was in the capsule with Clark.
Okay,
And that's why he was Superman's dog. And then in the standalone Superboy comics, he always fought with Crypto. Crypto was by his side. It was like Batman and Robin. It was Superboy and Crypto.
I see. Okay. Oh, that's right, JJ Helen Slater. Mm-hmm. That's right. Very good. Isn't this awesome? And I know this is one of your newer ones. I remember you working on this one too, and I was like, man, this is just phenomenal.
Yeah, this is
Just
one of my newer
phenomenal.
ones. This is also part of that Superheroes Legends set from this
Right?
last year. Yep.
Just great. Absolutely great. Ah. And I know
Well,
it's not the holidays, but you've got a few of these I had to include. This is one. And I know it doesn't have a superhero in it, but man, this one just love this one. This would be the greatest Christmas card ever, Rick.
yeah, this was one that I did for Christmas a number of years ago. And normally, I put Santa with a superhero. I had
Mm-hmm.
one year where it was Santa sleeping in his chair, and his coat was open, and he had a Superman T-shirt on. And then I had another year where Superman was stopping the Grinch as my Christmas one, and then there's just been a number of different ones. I had one with Spider-Man and Superman, Spider-Man and Santa Claus, where Santa was flying off in his sleigh, and Spider-Man had put "I love
Spider
New York" bumper sticker on it.
Mhm.
Yeah, stuff like that I like to do for Christmas time, and I always share those. But yeah, they're fun to do. It kind of
Yes,
gets
they
me in the
are.
Christmas spirit.
Yes, I agree. And I don't know if I included those ones, but I this one just kind of stood out because it's one that you didn't include. I think that's why
Yeah,
I chose it because most of them had a superhero, and then this one was by itself, and I was like,
yeah.
"Wow,
Well,
it's awesome!"
there's been two instances where I've done that. The first one was just a classic um, uh, headshot of Santa Claus from like the 50s, and my daughter-in-law liked that one so much that when I decided I would do a different version with but just Santa Claus.
Right? And oh man, I agree. It is the classic vintage. If you guys thought Norman Rockwell before, doesn't this kind of give you that same kind of vibe? I know you guys had mentioned that on another piece, but that's what I think of when I see this one as well. Just that wonderfully, beautifully vintage Santa. Oh, that's a good question. Have you kept account of how many drawings you've done?
Not really, no. I've done so many that it's been kind of tough. I'll have you know I did do a count as to how many I did last year, and I kind of kept track of that. I did 97 last year,
Wow.
so
Wow.
I like I say I draw almost every day.
Right?
The only day that I don't really draw is Sunday, but every other day I at least come up for at least an hour or sometimes two, and I draw. Um, that's not to say that everything I draw will see the light of day. A lot of it doesn't, but
Well, you know what though? I just think that's phenomenal. And just, the fact that, you're keeping in the practice, I think, I could definitely take that example, is because you keep your guys, whatever you're creating, whether you are loving it or not, but it's keeping you, in the world of art, keeping you in practice, and I think that keeping that momentum is pretty important.
well, for me, it's muscle memory.
So
You
is it
have to have muscle memory to do what you do, and since I do it every day, that's how I can be as quick as I am.
right? There you go. It's that's awesome. Like I said, I totally probably need to take that into consideration, and get that going so I can have that beautiful memory. But right, this is a great. Everyone's loving the Santa. Um, I don't know. I think it is now. Are you a full time artist
Yeah,
now? I think now.
I'm retired. Yeah, so pretty much all I do is take care of my house and my wife and draw. That's pretty much all I do now, and watch
That's
baseball.
right. I think that's awesome. And I know you guys. There's some of you that just joined here late, but one of the first things we're talking about earlier too is finding your people, and he's got an amazing show in a sports bar coming up because of all the wonderful sports images that he's drawn, and he's going to be highlighted as an artist there. So whatever you guys are drawing or painting or whatever, it's really awesome to go and find those groups that you are creating artwork that will fit in with them. And I am so proud of you to be featured for doing that. So there's a great tip for you guys.
Yeah,
Very
interesting thing when I talk to the people at the sports bar about they're letting me choose who I want or what I want to put up, but they made sure to tell me that that they wanted more than just my sports art. They want my comic art. They want some of my I got my pop art. They want a sample of everything because they want to feature the complete artist as they put it. So I
mhm.
found that kind of interesting and kind of fun. But
Right? You go in there with this is what I create. Are you guys interested? Or, however you approach them. They're like, not only are we interested, we want to feature some of your other stuff as well, too, and just feature you as an artist. And I think that is great. So there's some
well,
advice, guys. Go ahead. Go ahead.
this place is just down the road from where my son lives, and
Right?
his wife had gone in there and said that one of her friends was had put some art in there, and so I asked her what the name was, and she told me, and so I just went online and contacted him and said, "This is what I do. I mean, I'd love the opportunity." And they got back to
Mhm.
me in a relatively short time, like a day, and said
Right?
that they said, "Well, how about March?" And I said, "Oh, yeah, okay." And this was around Christmas, just after Christmas. And I said,
Right?
"Yeah, that would work fine. That would work great." And then they contacted me within like 2 days and said, "Look, can you do it in January?" And I said, "No,
Right?
no, there's no way I could get everything together in January because I'm actually framing them up and everything to make a nice display." And I said, "There's no way I could do it." And they go, "Okay, well that's fine. We'll just count on you for March then." But yeah,
Right?
they seem pretty excited about it. So
That is awesome. A few of you do that, and Bob says the same thing. Like, he does certain paintings and he knows that the wineries might like him, and he's got a pretty good, name right now because he's done this for about, like you said, 40 years. You've done this for something like, drawing 50, and then
yeah,
reach out because you guys, this is an awesome opportunity. And I'm so happy. Congratulations for you on that.
thank you, thank you.
You're welcome. Now
Yeah,
I don't think you have showed anybody this one except me, and I don't know if I was supposed to, but I love it so much.
yeah. This one was like a flash drawing. It took me like 45 minutes to do, and
Really?
yeah, I did it really quick, and um, I don't do flowers really. I don't do them very much, and but this one just struck me. So I felt I gotta really draw it. So I went ahead and did it and colored and everything within like 45 minutes to an hour, I'd say.
Wow. Right, exactly. We're gonna light up the chats with this, right? Isn't it beautiful? I love when you guys say, I don't necessarily do this, and then you come out with something like, bang, yeah, I do. It's
Uh,
awesome.
I'm
So
trying to
beautiful.
branch out. I'm drawing more and more things that I normally don't draw. I think I shared with you what
Right.
I'm working on now in the dairy farm piece that that I'm
Right.
working on. So
We can't wait to see that either, but I do not have those loaded up. And see, right now I'm trying to grab this. Everyone's like, right? Everyone thinks it's very beautiful rose. And you never know. You might put in, now that you've done the roses, maybe you do something and you add a rose to it. I don't know, but this is so beautifully done.
maybe. Well,
So
thank you. I
vibrant,
appreciate that. I appreciate that.
right? Oh,
Like I said,
I
it was almost like a warm up sketch. I do that every day. Is when I sit down, I don't start working on the piece that I'm actually working on first. I will sit there and I'll sketch or I'll do something different, and maybe something's been floating in my head from last night, so I'll put it on paper or at least a rough rendition of it, and then I'll start work on the main project. But
just love it. And so is everybody else. So yeah, maybe a few more flowers, right? A few more flowers in your future. I
maybe,
see
yeah,
everybody's lining up, right? Or you incorporate it in one of your other drawings. I mean, I don't know, but
that
it's just
could be.
amazing, right?
About the
Absolutely
only
beautiful.
flowers I've ever done is on an occasion that I've done like a landscape or something. You put like the little colorful dots that represent flowers, but that's really the first
Right?
flower that I've drawn.
Magnificent. Magnificent. I
Thank you.
agree with all of you guys, right? It's just a single rose, simple and perfect. I agree. Absolutely beautiful, isn't it, guys? Now, I don't know if you shared this one, and forgive me if I wasn't supposed to share this one, but I
No, that's
thought
fine.
this was so beautiful.
No, this is fine. I did this around Christmas time. This one's actually going to my older sister. She requested it when she saw it, and I told her, "Yeah, I'll get that to you. I got to get a frame for it because the toned paper is really a lightweight paper, and I'm afraid that if I shipped it the way I ship my prints, it wouldn't survive. So I want to frame it up for her, but she wants to do it in a tribute to the son that she lost, and so she wanted that for
Mhm.
it.
This, and I was going to ask you about that because I know that this is tone paper. So,
Uh-huh.
and I was going to ask you about the difficulty of doing it on a different kind of, because you said it was very thin and fragile. So, how is that working on it? Do you find that more difficult, obviously, or no?
Yeah, I have a very heavy hand, so I got to really be cognizant of that in when I'm using the lighter weight paper because you don't want to crease it. So, and really about I only use for this effect, I only use like two colored pencils, a white and a colorless blender, and the rest is all done in graphite pencil. So,
Right.
except where you
You
see
guys,
color around her neck,
mhm.
I'll throw in a splash of color. You see the yellow there, that's colored pencil, and I tend to do that with all these types of pieces. But
Right. Just magnificent. Right. Okay. Yeah. I was a growl. I don't know. 20 comments on this one. I tell you guys, he can do so many different things. It's just amazing to see his wide variety, and now mediums, but also the things that he wants to or he can create, from landscapes to people to spiritual to comic book sports figures. I mean, you name it. He is absolutely phenomenal, and I loving that you guys are lighting this up. Oh, okay. All right, soft and delicate. So yes. No, I his color pencils, I believe, are Prismacolors. Isn't that right?
Prismacolor,
Okay, somebody
Prismacolor
had.
Premier soft core color pencils.
Okay. So that was another question, and not Strapmore, but Prismacolors, guys.
Yeah, I use Strathmore paper,
Yeah.
Strathmore's Bristol paper mostly with most of my stuff, the
Oh,
300 series.
give me. I think that's what he said too. No, I'm sorry about that, Zen. That is what you said. Yes, Strapmore paper, tone tan paper. Yeah, awesome. Really beautiful. Isn't she just marvelous? Everything about her, right? Her face, the expression on her face, it's just beautiful, peaceful, graceful, magnificent. Look at the folds in her clothing, and so forth. Just radiates. This is such a wonderful piece, Rick.
Thank you.
Absolutely. You're welcome. And I agree with you, Try. He has amazing talent. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
This is my first Christ one I saw of you, and I was like, "What the world? This is so
yeah.
awesome!"
This was also a Christmas piece that I did
Mhm.
a couple years ago. This was pretty much one of the first ones I shared on Truth as one of my religious pieces.
Mhm. Right? You blew me away with this because I had not seen any of your religious pieces before, and then you all of a sudden, boom, here it is. And you're like, "What the world? Look at the detail of the Savior's face on this. It is so amazing." Was this your
Thank
first
you.
ever spiritual piece that you've done, or just the first one you
Oh
shared
no, no,
on Truth?
I've always kept them really the religious or spiritual pieces always were real private and shared with just pretty much my family, if that at all. Um, Probably one of my
Right.
very first ones was I did a Christ for my mother-in-law and my father-in-law for Christmas one year, and then
Such
I did
talent.
a my rendition of the Last Supper for my wife. So I've done quite a few different religious pieces.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. I love this too, guys. Lighten up place, right? Yep. It's magnificent. That's a good word. Absolutely beautiful, powerful, magnificent. I mean, I'm so glad, right? That's what I was thinking. And that's the first one. He's like, right? He's like, man, these are wonderful. I know, Team McGroin. These are phenomenal. I told you guys at
Yeah,
the very beginning, you are going to see one heck of a phenomenal show tonight.
I almost didn't share this one. I really didn't. I almost didn't.
Really?
Yeah, simply because I said it was done for Christmas, but this was the first one that I really shared of many of my spiritual pieces, and you know, I'm just happy everybody enjoyed it. That's
Mm-hmm. Anybody reaching out for prints of this one?
I haven't made any prints of this one. This was
Oh,
just
well, there you go.
something that
Personal,
I did. I mean, I
right?
can make prints of it. I still have the original, but
There you go. So you guys know how to reach them, right? I would have that up all year round too. Well, I'll tell you what, there's a few that I do. I would have this up too, right? I have something like that. It says like "Joy to the World," and it, got this little like the bottom scene on it, whatever. I'm like all year long. I'm weird like that, but I would too. I would definitely have this up. It is absolutely magnificent. That's a great word you guys use over there on YouTube. I agree. I'm glad you guys all love it. All right. Well, we'll be back. There's more, but look at this. One of our icons. Speaking of Clint Eastwood, I talked about this earlier. How our kids won't even know who this is. But isn't this awesome, guys? Look at this piece.
I like Clint Eastwood a lot. All of his movies and
Mm-hmm.
such. And this was done from the movie High Plains Drifter, or Pale Rider. I'm sorry, Pale Rider. They start running together. Pale Rider was this one. But yeah, again, I
Uh,
got a little bit artistic with this one, not drawing the whole horse. You just kind of get an indication of the neck of the horse. But
I, I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. I am just putting this out here. Okay. So if you guys would really like that, I just put that in the chat. You can guys find him on Truth at Rick CC, or you can find him on X at Cassidy Art. If you're really interested in having one of his pieces, please go, and you can also see he's got his website listed as well. Go give him a follow. Let him know if you guys want a piece. Okay. Awesome. All right. Sorry about that, Rick. I was just
that's
trying to
fine.
answer in the chat. You
There
don't
are
mind
prints
me?
available of this one.
Okay. Awesome. Right? I know. Look at the details on that jacket. Isn't it amazing? So
The details
awesome.
on the clothes, what strikes me is his shirt. I worked really hard on that shirt. You almost got
Right?
like the tweed in it. So
Right. If you guys are looking on a small device, you're not going to be able to see the details. But if you can see it on a larger device, you can see that it does. It comes off with so much texture, just like you said, like a tweed that's coming on. It is really done well. Was there a special little thing that you did to create that kind of texture, or was it just time and detail?
time for the most part, basically what I did is I got the basic color down and I laid down the color, and then I actually put down a layer of the colored pencil, and then I went through for the tweed pattern and used a graphite pencil and just added the dots, and then went over the whole thing with a colorless blender color pencil, and that's what you got.
They're loving this one too, right? I agree. It's absolutely stunning. Amazing, isn't it, guys?
That
And
was
thank
pretty
you.
popular too.
Mm-hmm. Saying that. And I believe, and I answered this in the chat, most of your work you said is about a 9 by 12.
Yes, 9 by 12. This one is also 9 by 12. And again, I did the
There, you guys.
diffused background situation in the picture from the movie that I used for this. You could actually see the trees, but if I tried to draw in all the trees and all the foliage, you'd lose him. So
Mm-hmm.
I just did a representation of it.
Right. And I like this too. Nice eyes, guys. I'm glad you're paying attention to some details. I love the muted impression of the horse, right? Such a beautiful little aspect there.
Yeah, that was
I
also to save
agree.
time.
I don't think I've ever seen you do a horse.
Oh, I've done
So
horses. Yeah, yeah,
have
yeah.
you?
I've done quite.
Maybe
Yeah,
it just hasn't caught my eye yet. I love that. Right? This is so good. Thank you, T. T McGrain says this is so good. All the details. I agree. It's just so amazing. I'm so glad, you guys, and thank you again for all your wonderful compliments. Now, there's a reason I chose this one. My son loves Spider-Man. He's adopted, and so when he wanted to come up with a new name, he chose Peter, and he loves Spider-Man. And so when I first saw this picture from you, I showed him to my son, and he was like, "That is the best drawing of Spider-Man I've ever seen," and it just has resonated with me ever since. And so I always think of my son's reaction to this. He was like, "This is phenomenal." I don't think he said the word phenomenal. That's my word, but he loved it, and I'm just so happy to include this. And I don't know if you knew that story, but
I did
great
not.
job on
You,
this.
you, you should have told me. I would have been happy to supply him with a print of it.
Thank you. Well, he's 23 now. He still lives here, but I mean, he just loves it, and
Well, I've
it's
done
just
I've done I've done work for 23-year-olds before. There
yeah,
was I do Spider-Man quite a bit. Spider-Man's a pretty popular character, so I for a while there, I was doing quite a bit of selling on eBay, and any Batman or Spider-Man piece that I seemed to put up on there would sell almost immediately. So that
yeah.
was kind of fun. But
Oh man, it is so great. And I
but
was
this
pretty
was
good with
also
it.
from last year's.
Was it last year only? I thought this was a couple of years older. Okay, go ahead.
Uh-uh. This was
Wow.
last year's from the Legends series, comic book Legends series.
Okay. It's just great how you get these colors. So, like you said, you're heavy handed, but look at
I
how
am pretty
bright.
heavy-handed.
Wow. I agree. That is a perfect pose as well, you know? And you guys, he does a really good one too for Christmas with Santa and Spider-Man. But when I had to choose a Spider-Man one, I had to choose this one because of the personal issue going on. But I love this pose. I love the vibrance of this with the wonderfully beautiful matted background per se. You've really captured this mastery really well, Rick.
Thank you.
It's amazing. I love it. You guys, yep. Give me a second. Isn't Spider-Man? He's a favorite. The neighborhood superhero.
Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. That's right. That's right. I really liked him too because he went to college. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
that's great. You can like that one. That's
He
awesome.
was the
I
really
agree.
the first superhero in comic books that had the normal everyday problems of a adolescent. You know,
Right?
he liked girls. He had school issues. He had other things going on too. So
I know. I think, and it really relates to your teens, and younger adults. But yeah, basically your teens because he was the average superhero, or was a superhero with the average problems, like you said, of everyday
yeah,
life. And I thought that was great, absolutely great. You guys are loving it. Oh, amazing. Told you. Phenomenal artist, phenomenal night. Oh, now that I switched to my bigger screen, I'm seeing the little like lime green in between, the tower here too. That really nice little addition there, Rick.
yeah.
I love, I love it. You guys, if you got a bigger screen, it's so great to see artwork on. Awesome. Really awesome. Oh, okay. There is reasons I chose this because this is so hard to just keep most of this black and only doing some parts, highlighting some parts, so it's like I got a cast of a shadow per se, but just this is, I love this, I love the work on this. So you tell everyone about this.
Well, this was inspired by when you ever watched, if anybody ever watched Bob Ross, he used to do work on
Hmm.
those black canvases. Well, this is black paper. And
That's
so
right.
one Halloween, this was a Halloween piece from a number of years ago, and I decided, well, I want to do Frankenstein, but I don't really want to draw everything. So I just drew, and then in the highlights, I went over everything with white and then added the color. So you're not starting from the pure black. You're starting from a white colored pencil and then adding the color on top.
To really get it to pop, I can
Hmm.
see that.
Yeah.
Just so beautiful. I mean, you have, I've not seen any other pieces that are like this of yours. This is, and maybe I'm
No,
wrong.
I haven't really got that many pieces like this. This is pretty much it.
right?
but but you know, I still had black paper, but yeah, it's gotten quite a bit of reviews on this. I just never really have jumped back into it.
Right. I love drawing on black paper. I just, one of my favorites, but I also like, black canvases. I'll paint mine and just tone the whole thing black, because it just really makes things pop sometimes, just like, especially when you're using something bright like these greens. Just isn't
Yeah.
it amazing? Mm-hmm. I love that. You guys are jumping all over this one, right? Isn't this the contrast? Hey, oh, so many more of you guys are joining. Thank you guys. I love it. Artist Corner family is in the house over there on Rumble. Look at that. Yep. Everybody, the contrast, right? Just that, you couldn't have done anything better with this one. I love that. The bright greens with that black. It's just amazing. And I love you guys are.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
fun to do.
awesome.
It was fun to do. I should probably do another one.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know what you would do this time, but I look
I
forward
don't
to
know.
seeing it.
I'll
Right.
probably have to
I
try to think
agree.
about something.
It is absolutely fantastic. You guys are all popping up with your beautiful comments and compliments all over the place. Thank you guys for that. But isn't this different? Again, just being able to do so many different things and working with so different mediums and papers and whatever, just to bring a different perspective to us. And this is done phenomenally well. Good job.
Thank you.
Oh, we're down to my last. Okay, we're down to my last favorites. Obviously, that was one of them, probably because of the contrast and the difference, right? But I remember when you put this one out, I was like, wow, this was probably the most bright and most vibrant piece I think I've seen you done. So please tell us how you did this one.
This one was actually done again in acrylic paint. This was painted, and it was done for my niece. My wife's sister's daughter really liked Christian
Mm.
Heath
Yeah,
Ledger
he's a good joker.
as
Yeah.
the Joker, and she wanted something, so I did it, and yeah, it turned out pretty well. I think I like that one too. Matter of fact, there's another painting hanging in my studio behind me here, just in black and white of
Mm-hmm.
Heath, and I did that one in
Really?
preparation of doing this one. But
Okay, so before we talk more about this, about Frankenstein,
yeah,
Try says, how about doing a universal monster set? That's a
I
good
I
idea.
did I did three Universal monsters. I did the Boris Karloff Dracula, and I did a um,
Yes.
there was who else was it? There was three of them that I did, and I did it
Right.
on
Your favorite.
the gray toned paper. I did the Mummy,
Mhm.
and
That's right.
I plan on doing more. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I
No
plan on
problem.
doing more, but yeah, I'd love to do. I did a Creature from the Black Lagoon before.
Mhm.
I've done a variety of Universal monsters.
Right. On our Halloween show, I believe I was able to show some of those as well too, guys.
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
I know
I
maybe you
submitted them
haven't
on the
seen that one,
Halloween show.
but that's right. That's right. So you guys, again, this is why it's so important to follow each other and check each other's pages out or join the groups and look, because this is phenomenal. I mean, right? And this is just one of my absolute favorites. I think that Heath Ledger is probably my favorite Batman. I mean, unfortunately took his life because of it, but he did a great job on that role. And this is
Yeah, I
probably
think he did too.
just the best. It is absolutely amazing. Okay. Another question on the Frankenstein. Did you do that purely from imagination?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
There was like a picture from a publicity picture from like the old movie, the actual movie itself that was in black and white. That's what I used as a reference for the most part. But yeah, I mean, it's a some subtle changes, but the actual black and white picture really helped me in the colorization and everything as well.
Right. Absolutely amazing. I know, you guys. All I can say is wow, right? That's what I think on this one too. Just literally, I mean, man, just this whole painting is unbelievable. And so it's so great to see because we've seen watercolor tonight, we've seen colored pencil, we've seen acrylics. I mean, just absolutely phenomenal artist you are. And I just love this. Everything about this one.
Well, thank you.
Fantastic. I'm sure you get lots of reaction on this one.
Yeah, well, like I
Yep.
said, this was done for somebody. So, I have no prints of it or anything like that. This is theirs. So,
Right.
I mean, I can draw
Might
he for them, but
Right. Might have to. You just might have to. I'm seeing you guys light up like a Christmas tree in the chat, so you just might have to, Rick. Oh, awesome. Well, we love it, and it is phenomenal. One of my favorites.
thank you.
Oh, okay. Speaking of, I am a huge Elvis fan. My dad grew up totally singing and pretty good, got a voice that's pretty, pretty good. And I just love it. I mean, grew up, I can remember being a young kid and crying when Elvis died and everything. That's how much we loved Elvis. My dad got to meet him when he lived in Memphis for a little while. And it just, the king of rock and roll, everyone,
Oh,
Elvis
wow, that's
Presley.
awesome.
This awesome. This is so
Yeah,
good.
I did this one. My wife's a huge fan, so I did this one, and the
See?
funny thing is, when I was doing it, I got a new appreciation for Elvis music because that's what I listened to while I drew it. So, but uh, but yeah, it was fun to do.
Okay, give me 1 second, guys. We got a request. I've never had this before, but maybe reach out to Rick if you want a print of this. Whoops, sorry, wrong way. They wanted to see this one again. Super interested in the Frankenstein. There you go, Hazel, over there on pills. Reach out to Rick if you want a good print of this, but isn't it magnificent? There you go. She asked if I could flash that one again, and maybe you didn't see it before, but there you go. All right. Back to Elvis. See, they're loving your work, Rick. I'm like, maybe I'm going too fast. I don't know. Right? Okay. Love Elvis. Wife is a big fan of Elvis too. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, yeah. And the pose that he's singing with the microphone is actually from a photo of when he appeared on Elvis. I mean, on Ed Sullivan.
Uh-huh. I
So
remember. I don't remember seeing that, but I've seen it. Let's put it that way. I wasn't around when he was doing that, but I remember seeing the videos and the clips from it. And it's like they didn't want to film him from the waist down.
correct. Yeah, yeah. Finding a full body picture that was kind of interesting. But
Right?
yeah.
Just love his outfit though too. Isn't that
Well,
awesome?
that and
Can you
everything was
imagine
in
it?
black and white.
Go ahead.
All the pictures were in black and white.
Right?
So, I had to
I
kind
know
of
that.
really dig to get the colors that he wore. But
Awesome. That is awesome. I can't even imagine the Ed Sullivan show today. They'd be like, none of you can come on.
yeah, I know, right?
Right.
Well, if Popo Gijo was still alive, they'd be okay with that.
Right. Exactly. Can't you? And everyone's like, right, they can hear him singing. Exactly. That's the whole point. He's an absolute motion singing from the Ed Sullivan show, right? Just
Well, I
beautiful.
wanted to
And you
capture his the hips and the dance.
can.
That was the biggest thing. It was going to corrupt every teenage girl in the audience, right? If they saw that. So
Right. And it's funny because if you watch the girls in the audience, they're about ready to faint, with their
yeah,
that's kind of funny to watch. But yeah, it was little things like that. So they weren't even kidding when they said you were going to literally make these kids lose it. They were really worried about it. But man, he was such an icon, very good looking, had a voice like unbelievably. And this is why everyone can even hear him and everyone knows he is definitely the king of rock and roll.
yeah, yeah.
Phenomenal. I agree. Great detail on the hair too, isn't it?
Thank you.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Love it. Just a great one. Love me some Elvis. I'm glad you guys do too. All right. Our last one. And our second to last one, because you popped one off on Truth today that I actually have saved. But this is the last one on my collection. I wonder why I chose this one.
Gee, I wonder
There's so many
why.
there's so many reasons. Oh my gosh, you guys, he does the Savior so wonderfully. I'm like, what in the world? You are so talented. And I
Thank you.
just love this man. And you guys,
Well,
I am so honored. Over my shoulder sits this piece. I am truly blessed by you, Rick.
well, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I mean, you inspired it, like I said. So one of your shows, I was watching your show, and I
Right?
figured, well, I was so.
I am it stays up all year round. It is so beautiful. So beautiful. And again, on that wonderful toned paper already, really super fragile, but look at how beautiful everything is, right?
Yeah,
On
yeah.
this
You
piece.
you 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 can feel how lightweight that paper is, right? I mean,
Well, it was framed. I haven't pulled it out, to literally look at it. No, it wasn't framed. I got the frame for it. So yes,
no,
I do
yeah, it
remember.
wasn't
And
framed.
it
I
was
didn't frame it.
like, no, I had to buy a frame for it. That's right. And now I do remember. I was like, oh my gosh. And I kept it because you had it like, in between stuff and you had a beautiful piece of paper. And so until I got the frame and I was really, really careful with it because it just felt super delicate for two reasons. Number one, the paper. Number two, it's the Savior, right? I
Yeah,
don't want to get anything gross on it. I
right,
even
right.
believe I put it in the frame with like gloves on it because I don't want it.
It is a delicate paper from what I'm used to working on. The Bristol paper I'm used to working on is almost like it's a cardstock. It's basically Bristol is a cardstock, so it's a
Right.
pretty heavy gauge paper.
Just phenomenal, guys. Just phenomenal. I mean, I love all that you do, but I'm so glad that you are sharing your religious sides with us as well too, because you're marvelous at
Well,
everything
thank
that you create. And it's so neat to see all the different things that you portray. You really have a great portfolio that's just so diverse and it's amazing.
well,
Now,
thank you.
now that
Yeah.
we've talked, you're welcome. Go ahead.
Oh, nothing. I just said thank you.
Is there something that you haven't ventured and tried yet that you're thinking maybe this is on the agenda for the future?
Uh Not really. This year I've decided I'm going to really dedicate myself to doing some more of my own original projects. I used to create comics and with my own characters and stuff like that, and I've decided that I was going to do that more this year. Like I explained to you a while ago, there was a Star Trek project that my writing partner, the person that was a very dear
Mhm.
friend to me that helped me write my comics in the 90s, and he was a great storyteller. He was just awesome. Well, he was a huge Star Trek fan as well, and we decided that we wanted to do a series based on a different ship, not the Enterprise. So you wouldn't have Kirk and you wouldn't have Spock and you wouldn't have those characters, but it was a ship of the fleet, and we wanted to work on that in the worst possible way. I mean, we were going to change the industry in a way, but he passed away, and that really did an end to my own comic stuff because I'm an illustrator. I'm not really a writer, right? But
Right.
I started doing more of that Star Trek project. I started really digging into it a little bit and started using um, my my own kids for some likenesses of crew members and so on, and even some of the creative crew that we had before when I was a young, um, I used them as older officers in Starfleet and so forth, and I started working a lot on that. But like I said, I'm not a writer, but I'm giving it a try. My writing partner said I would always send him these really detailed story arcs and storylines that he wanted me to write, and
Mhm.
I was really visual with it. Maybe that's because I was the one that was drawing it, but he he always said that I could flesh it out, I could do it. Well, I don't know about that, but we're going to see about giving it a try. So I'm working on that Star Trek project that was so dear to him, and so That's one
Seen
of the
that. I've been.
things I'm planning on doing. But
I love it. And then I have one more just as a surprise for you all because he just posted this today for favorite artwork Friday. This is another painting of his. And I'm just like, you always are surprising me. And I'm just like, wow, this is really beautifully done. I don't know if you're going to venture back into painting, but I'll tell you, sure do have a talent for that.
I thought about it, but that's right behind me here. I don't know. I don't think you can see it.
Well, we're going to try. Oh, yeah, it is. You guys can see it right there. I can see it. Yeah.
There's that Heath Ledger one too that I said that black and white Heath Ledger one. Yeah.
Oh, you got to take a picture of that and share that with us as well. But isn't that awesome, everyone? So this is why it's so important to go to the artist corner. You guys can see these amazing, talented individuals. Every once in a while, they'll throw you for a loop, like that watercolor that you did or that we showed today. I was like, watercolor?
Yeah.
Remember you doing watercolor, Rick?
Watercolors and comics kind of go hand in hand because what you do, you just draw your image with pencil and then you ink it with Indian ink, and then you just go ahead and wash over it with watercolor. Like I said, you can take your deepest tone around the edge and then gradiate it back, and it just colors itself for the most part.
Wow. Absolutely awesome. I am so thrilled that you guys loved this. Just, isn't it awesome? Just absolutely awesome. And I know that everyone has been super excited. And thank you again. You guys have been so interactive today. I wanted to just share this. Let me stop this. I want to share this because some of you guys maybe are just joining us. This is where you can find him. Please go find him. You'll find his website linked right there too. But this is where you should literally, and then you can see his work. And then you can put a comment on like, hey, I would really love a print of that one because I've seen a lot of you guys have made suggestions about that or are curious about this. He's posting his work left and right. You can even go to the media sections or whatever and find the piece that you were interested in and then comment on it and reach out so that you can find out if you want to get a print or the piece. But this is how you do it. Go follow him. Rick, are you on any other social medias? I think it's only Truth and X, right?
No, I'm on Facebook. I've got two galleries on Facebook under Kid Comics for all my comic book type art, and then my sports art's on Game Day Art on Facebook, and then I'm on Instagram on Kid Comics 2017.
Okay. Awesome. There you guys go. So now you know. I'm just not on those channels, so I don't know. And I usually have to ask the artists, what other they're on. I'm only on Truth and on X per se. So there guys multiple, but I know a lot of you guys are either on Truth or on X. Again, if you want to just go give them a follow anyway. We all deserve that. And then just tell him how wonderful he is today. And then if you want some of his work, you guys know how to reach out. And I am so honored that you came back tonight. How did I do with my choices? Did I do all right?
You did great. You did great. I was a little concerned. Okay, I didn't know what was coming. So
that's what you guys get when you say, I'm like, okay, look, can I choose some? But, I wanted to do, like I said, I wanted to do a variety. I think we did really well with that, from landscapes to animals to comic books to sports heroes to spiritual ones. I mean, just you have such, like I said, such a diverse portfolio and different mediums, everyone. How fun was this tonight? All right. So, yes, I agree, guys. Oh, and they're also saying this too. And the chats, Rick is just a great guy as well. Extremely talented. I agree, Frosty. Crazy Bear says, awesome work, Rick. JJ says, Rick is wicked talented. Yes, he is. Right. And then we got Rick is amazing. You know what? Hold on, guys. Versus me reading this out. Let's just show everybody. And we'll show you here on. There we go. So that Rick can see these two. Right. There we go. Right. And there's his Rumble channel right there. Thank you, JJ, for pinning that. You guys can go to Rumble. You want to see his videos as well, where he's literally creating this. You guys go over to Rumble /user/Cassidy Art. And there you go. Boom is right. Truly impressive is right. We are so honored to have you part of our Artist Corner family. I just tell you, I love it. So love it. I love having you guys in my wonderful world, and you just are a great big part of that. Rick's been with us for almost since the beginning. You're definitely one of the first, and so we're thrilled. I am thrilled and honored. But I do
Well,
want you to give it.
I
Go
want
ahead.
to say thank you to everybody on Artist Corner. I've never been involved with a group on the internet that's been so supportive and so helpful. It
Yeah.
it's been a really a great experience.
Right? I think so too. I love this community and thank you guys for helping me to build this amazing community, right? And we're now like 650 members strong and it's something I love to do because, in a world of crazy, and trust me, my Monday show is going to be pretty crazy, but in a world of crazy, the first thing I get to see is your wonderful artwork or your poetry or your photography or whatever you guys are doing, and it really does make my day. It sets a tone of just, beauty in the world. And I am so thrilled. And I always love to have you guys on and show you off that way too. So um, it is truly my honor, Rick. But I want
Thank
you to give a little bit of advice to maybe some artists out there, some others that are out there that are kind of thinking about it. What would you suggest to them?
Well, just draw what you love. I mean, if you've drawn for any length of time, you already know what you can do, and don't ever be intimidated by trying new things. And draw what you love, what you're familiar with. It's not a mistake that you see so much Batman in my stuff. That was because I've always loved Batman. That was the first person I drew was Batman. From stick figures all the way up to what you see now. So it you just got to draw what you love. You got to have a passion for it, and that's like I like to draw people, but um, and don't get discouraged. It takes time. With new artists, especially, they get a vision in their head, and if it doesn't turn out exactly the way that the vision that they have is, then they give up. And you can't do
Right.
that. What you see from me today is 55 years worth of trial and error. That's pretty much all it is trial and error. And what I do for the most part is if I'm trying something new, I'm not intimidated by that because the only person that's going to have to see it is me,
Right.
you know. So, if I want to share it, if
Mhm.
it turns out, then that's another thing. But the only person that has to see it is me. So don't be intimidated, by trying new things.
Right. And you can also ask a friend,
Yeah.
I was like, hey, what do you think of this? And, your opinion on this. Find one that's pretty supportive, but, I also find one that, might give you a good critique on that as well. I mean, and I've been asked to critique things. I've been asked, but I think you guys are all phenomenal. I mean, you all are so uniquely talented that the first thing that's going to be out of my mouth is like, wow, that is awesome. I mean, really it is. And then I'm like, okay, like you're working on a few pieces right now. And I said, he's like, I'd really like a critique on that. I'm like, okay, let me think about that. And I've been trying
Well,
really
you gave
hard to
me a
do that
great
this
one.
week.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
But I've been trying to slow down and take one post a day and just go. I'm going to zoom in on this one today, and I'm going to really think about giving a critique on that. And I think that we all need to do that. Slow down, really relish in each other's work, and take that time. It's an extra few minutes, guys, and you don't have to do everybody, but pick one and I suggest doing that. But yeah, thank you for asking me for a critique because that gives me a chance to really stop and go, you know, the wording on this is awesome. And I really love that how you put this in here and right. And I just think that's really great. So we look
Well,
forward to
thank
that. I
you.
don't know if you're going to share that with the group, but I hope that you do. He is working on
Well, I don't
something
know.
myself.
We'll see. If I put together a couple issues, maybe I'll share them. But right now it's just a matter of me just getting reacquainted with the subject.
That's right. Well, I know it's personal, but you're doing a great job on it. And I am
Thank
so honored that you came back here again tonight and really it was so wonderful to see your amazing work. And thank you so much for being part of our artist corner, my friend. Everyone, go and give him a huge congratulations and some love after this show. And don't forget to share it out because doesn't everybody need to see how amazing he is? I would appreciate that. All right, my friend. I hope you have a great night. And thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for being my guest here.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Bye bye. Wasn't that just phenomenal? I love that word. It's my favorite word in the whole world. You guys all know that if you're in the artist corner. Thank you, Jay. Just putting the artist corner links in the chats. Thank you so much. There it is right there as well, too. Love this group. It's turned into such an amazing, amazing community. And you don't have to be an artist to join it, because I'll tell you what, it's just really great to just highlight your day with seeing some amazing talents. And it is truly my honor to highlight a person every single day. I did make an announcement today about the artist of the day. Please don't requote those guys, because that breaks up the voting, and I've seen some people like miss out, because I'm not going to go to your personal posts. I just go to the ones I bookmark, and I do the artist of the day and I bookmark it. And then I go back and I count those votes. So make a separate post if you want to thank the group. I would appreciate that, because you might miss out on being artist of the week if you split that up. Just saying. So that's my only news for the day. So you guys, I am so honored to be here and just show off this amazing talent tonight. And tomorrow it's going to be some fun. We're going to do a sip and paint. If you want to join the show, there's going to be a few of us, but we are literally going to be painting what we hear with the music. I've had this with my professor before. One of my visiting professors actually was awesome. She just would play music and say, paint what you hear. And it was a way to just branch out, play with the medium, do all the, it could be whatever you guys want to. You can have it somewhat pre-done if you want to tone your canvas or whatever and kind of get ready. But tomorrow is going to be our sip and paint. So if you want to come watch some artists paint live, and you can ask questions, you guys can bring your own drinks to sit in the back. We're going to be listening to music. We're going to be, watching some artists paint. I think I'm even going to set up my little studio, because I have one I'm working on for a great friend. And I want to make sure I get working on that one as well too. So I have it somewhat pre-done to a certain extent, but I'm super excited. If you want to join us tomorrow, and the weather's holding, right? I think it's supposed to start in the afternoon. We'll see if we have weather. That's going to be the same thing for Sunday, because it's really going to hit us Saturday night through Sunday here. So hopefully I have no problems with electricity, but if I do, I will try to get out a notice right away. And I usually get a hold of my mods to let everyone else know too. No show due to storms, but we're going to pray that everything goes well, because tomorrow is another wonderful art night with sip and paint. And then we've got the reset kitchen. And so we are trying to have this. And then I have a worldview. Like I said, I have a lot of news I have been bookmarking that's coming your way. That's going to be a very important show. You guys want to check that out all at 7 p.m. for the next few nights. And if you guys are in the storms, let's pray for each other so that everything goes well. And we did that prepping show on Thursday. So hopefully that will help if you guys are new to the whole prepping and taking care of yourselves, whether it's for longevity, whether it's for a personal emergency, or through the storms. So I am so grateful for everyone being here today. Make sure you guys do me a favor. Don't forget to hit those like buttons. And thank you for all of your support with your cash apps, your rants, your pills, your tips, and subscriptions. That means the world to me. Thanks for helping support the show so we can continue on with our 5 variety shows a week. I love it. Oh, awesome. You guys are awesome. It was amazing art. And you guys are putting those in the permanent chats. Thank you so much. Oh, it was a great show. I think so too. If you want to be on my show, whether you're an artist of some sort or you're doing something in community, please reach out to me. You guys can do that, or just give me a follow, because I will always be promoting my shows coming up the day before. But if you want to be on the show, I'm already booking for March. And yes, I do book up fast. So please reach out to me. You can do so by giving me a follow. You can reach out to me on X at Lady Hamilton AR1 or Truth at Lady Hamilton Art. You guys can also follow me on Gabbed and Pilled. And also we have a wonderful YouTube channel where we stream our art shows and our reset show so that we don't get in trouble and get banned with everything else, right? You guys go over there and you can hit subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. I want to thank this huge, wonderful group that helps me thrive and gets the word out for me. You are truly the best moderators a girl could ever ask for. So thank you so much to my team, Lady Hamilton moderators. You truly are the best. So let's give them some love for all that they do as well, starting with our amazing JJR SVL. Please give him a follow on Truth X Gabbed Pilled Getter. And he's got an amazing Rumble channel as well. Our fantastic Tri-Stater. Let's give him a follow on Truth and on X. He's got a great group over there on Truth Social. Our beautiful Nancy, let's give her a follow on Truth and on X. Our fantastic Frosty Pimp, please let's give him a follow on Truth and on X. And I believe that Frosty and Nancy are going to be joining me on the Sip and Paint. If somebody else wants to join me, make sure that you guys are getting a hold of me on that. And our wonderful Kim, let's follow her on Truth. All right, guys, we're going to be leaving tonight with one of our amazing Artist Corner family musicians. We love them. I'm so excited. They are working on their 4th album right now. We absolutely love My Troubled Days. We love this song because we want to put a pep in our step and some snap in our fingers. And this is the perfect song to do that. So we are leaving with This One's for You. I hope everybody has a great night. I'll see everybody tomorrow for Sip and Paint at 7 p.m. Everyone be blessed, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Demanding, always fair, a lending hand, you always grand. I always know who's got my back. This one's for you. A certain smile, well, it reminds, of a distant time, sitting around, laughing with you. I miss you more than I thought I do. This one's for you. This one's for you, and all that you do when I look, when I look, when I look, I see who you, I see who you are, I see who you, I see who you are. You give and give, oh, never wanting back. My heart, it sings with you, so sing it with me, sing it true.